In order to load the filament into your printer, start by installing the spool holders. On the screen, select the extruder and the material you are loading in and wait until the hot end reaches the indicated temperature for the selected material. Open the spool and cut the end of the filament at a 45-degree angle. Install the spool in the correct position and insert the filament into the filament entry hole. Keep pushing the filament in. You will feel resistance as it passes through the filament runout sensor, which allows the printer to detect whenever it runs out of material. As soon as the filament runout sensor detects the filament, the extruder will be activated. Continue pushing the filament until you feel it starts getting pulled by the extruder. In case the filament is unable to reach the motor, please cut the end of the filament again in the opposite direction and repeat the process. Once you see the filament coming out of the nozzle, press Done. You can keep pressing the Extrude button until you see the material coming out of the nozzle uniformly. Press Done to finish the loading process. The printer will prompt you to calibrate the build plate if the temperature is different from the material that was loaded before. Repeat the process with the other extruder. If it is necessary, you can also load the filament from the back of the printer. This loading point was developed with the 2.3 kg spools in mind. Because of their size, they cannot be loaded from the inside of the printer. First, attach the external spool holder. This piece can be 3D printed with any type of printer, and you can find a link to download the STL file in the video description or in the printed parts article, which you can find in the BCN3D knowledge base on our website. Then, place the spool on the spool holder and cut the end of the filament at 45 degrees. Lastly, insert the end of the filament into the rear loading point.